Howdy everyone, and welcome back to more for the 2023 Imperium Cup for Dune Imperium, the Rise of X and Immortality expansions. I'm your host and commentator, the BlackShadow, and we are gearing up for the final group game of the competition. This is being played in overtime, and that the knockouts have already been drawn. Everyone kind of sort themselves out, but this is the very last group game to be played. I've given dispensation. This one will be played a little bit late, and that is going to be for Group Q. Here is a look at the table here. This game's going to be featuring Zazibu, Constantine, Siluss, and Moorsiek. It's been a pretty competitive group all around, and it means that everyone is coming to this with plenty to fight for. The only person that is safe as such is Raymond, with his 15 points. He is guaranteed to make a top 2 finish, which will get him straight into the quarterfinals, but he's not guaranteed to make the top of the table, however. Zazibu, former number 1 in the ranked system that we use at the ELOs for XIMO, and someone who has gone pretty decently far in these competitions before, stands with a good opportunity to go ahead and join him with his 10 points for his 3 games. Any top 2 finish of any kind will see him reach the quarterfinals as well, although if he wins it, he might even top the table entirely and get himself a better draw into the quarterfinals. Zazibu cannot be eliminated from the tournament. He is guaranteed some degree of progression, but will most certainly be targeting that top 2 finish, though it is not guaranteed by any stretch of imagination, though his tie breaks are pretty good. So even if he only scores the 1 point, unless Constantine surpasses him, he'd be very likely to make top 4 at the very least. Siluss and Moorsiek are the only 2 players that are yet to win a game in this group, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Let's say it's all been spread out very much so, and it means that for them to have any chance to make the next round, they will have to win today's match. Now, interesting fact about this game going in, I don't know if the players necessarily know this, is that there are some fastest loser slots that are going through. Some of the best scoring 7th places in all of the groups will also make the next round into the knockouts. Now, Joe MB, who currently resides in the 7th spot, is already doing better than the person that is currently sitting in that final qualifiers spot, which means that effectively we're playing to top 7 in this group here. Someone is going to go ahead and take that spot. Whether it's going to be Joe or someone else is hard to know at this point. Joe is going to be hoping amongst all hopes that they somehow hold on, but it's not likely with Hex's very strong tiebreakers. But in the event, it means that with Siluss and Moorsiek is that even if they win, even if they don't make top 6, 7th would be enough to make it through to the next round. Constantine's place in the table gives him a lot of variability in what he can do here, but he can also make the top 2 as well by winning this match and getting him straight into the quarterfinals. Finishing 2nd is not likely to get him into the top 2, especially with Zazibu about as well. If Zazibu was to come last and Constantine got a decent 2nd, he might just pit Ben on tiebreakers, but it would require a pretty bad tank from whoever is in the 4th place in order to do that, but it's definitely possible and on the cards. 3rd place for Constantine will probably get him through into the next round just about, but if he was to come last, he then starts really running the risk of losing on tiebreakers, especially if Siluss is the one who wins this game, and Constantine might find himself forced out of automatic qualification entirely. So he cannot rest on his laurels. He'd feel that as long as he's not last, he's probably through in some respect, but there's a very good chance for him to just make it straight to the quarterfinals, which would do his campaign a lot of good. But that is pretty much the state of things as we go into this final group game for the competition. I would expect the players will know that whoever finishes 7th in this group will also make it through. All the information is available to them. It's very difficult for Moorsiek to make it, though. His tiebreak is really poor, and that makes it really difficult. He'd have to win this by some significant margin to try to even force himself to the 7th spot here. So he's probably just playing for pride, but Siluss definitely in with a good chance that he upsets some things and force his way in through. So it should be pretty interesting. There's a lot to fight for here. Zazibu will come into this, though, his favourite. Very, very accomplished player. He's always been really strong with his deck building and kind of crafting his deck and that sort of stuff. It's always been a very strong suit of his. So let's see if we're going to see any of that in this game today. Alright, and so here we are. We're getting ready for the match here. Siluss is in the 1st spot, which means it will be Zazibu to pick first. Let's have a look at the opening row in text here. And it's okay. It's nothing too remarkable, which is interesting. Industrial Espionage and Usurp, the opening 2 cards here. 2 of the lesser pit ones. Espionage is kind of, obviously you can get with grafting, is really strong. It's a great card to like top deck later on when you know you got a graft card coming, and to be able to do that, that's really, really useful. Usurp is also pretty cool as well. It is obviously a graft card, but you can't graft Industrial Espionage. That really doesn't really work that way. As far as the opening Imperium row, though, it's okay. There's not like any massive cards. Your Plan Coupling's nice and solid. Jesuit Sister's nice and solid. Organ Merchants can be nice and solid. Charm Delegate is very nice in that obviously that early cash is pretty useful in infiltrating shipping, which is what it's designed to do. Embedded Agent also is pretty interesting as well. You can get that paired with another Bene Gesserit card. You can get some shipping done. And the reveal also is pretty solid. Hold on a second. And yeah, obviously there's other cards to pair over here, but by the time that's been picked, those have gone as well. So you're kind of gambling there a little bit. As far as the techs are concerned, Flagship, Wind Traps, and Sonic Snoopers on the stumps here, which is pretty decent. All fairly solid. Wind Traps can be pretty good, nice early. Sonic Snoopers can also be a bit tricky in the mid game too. As far as these are concerned, Zazibu has already taken Baron. Which is interesting, because Ilban's on the row, and normally you would pick Ilban, but he decides to go faction heavy here, which is interesting. I really thought he'd go Ilban there a lot of the time, but decides against it. So Ilban, Hundro in first spot you'd see a lot, and then maybe like Lido in second. Lido in second would be really interesting. It could be a bit tricky for Ilban, actually, all things being equal. He might not get as much Mentat use as he would like. Well, Moorsiek goes for Paul Atreides. So, okay, we are going off the deep end. Fair enough. You would normally see Urban pick there, but goes for Paul. I'd say if Siluss actually ends up picking Hundro anyways, and then Hex gets hold of Ilban in second position, that's going to be pretty wild for all manner of reasons. It's kind of a tricky spot for Siluss. Like, which do you pick? He must be wondering what's going on. He must assume that Baron and Tezia, or like Beast and Tezia ahead of him, but how's Ilban not been picked here? He's going to be a bit curious. He probably has to take Ilban. You can't really give that the second position. It shouldn't be down there anyway. Siluss must win this game to have any chance of progression, so it's got to be Ilban for me, and does. Which means Hex might well take Hundro here. And I suspect that's what we'll see, and that is indeed what we do see here. So opening intrigues for Siluss, aside from Rapid Mobilization and Vicious Talents. I think I'd want Rapid. I think Rapid for me. Wow, he goes Talents. I don't know about that. I think I would have preferred going... I know the +2 swords are nice, but I don't know about that for me. Baron goes for the normal two of the spacing and Fremen for his Masterstroke ability, and we're going to get off to the races here. Here we go. Opening conflict is the Spice Skirmish with Smuggling and the Troop. It's okay. It's not a bad one for Baron to barrel here. Baron's got a decent hand here. Ilban has a bit of a tricky hand. He's got double experimentation, no ring. He was kind of hoping for his ring, I think, to go with the research, but you know, he hasn't drawn it. What are you going to do? No faction access. Hundro's got Seek Allies and his Signet Ring. I would not be surprised to see Hundro go Wealth here. I like Hundro going Wealth, and then Signet Ring with a Spice, and then next round, cashing in your shipping at Smuggling, and getting hold of your Swordmaster round 2. I think that's the way I would like to play this for Hundro. I just want to get agent action done ASAP here. You're not going to see much Mentat, so for me it's Wealth. And you just don't worry about Fold Space. But Fold Space is pretty attractive. But he does deny it. Very cool. I kind of like it. I think it's a fun little move, this. Also denies a little bit here to Ilban here. So this is going to get pretty wild. Paul has got his Diplo and not much else going on. I think Paul just has to go Fold Space here. You know, you can't really turn it down. Hope you can get Recon to like Arrakis or something. Would be the way I would be looking to play this. I think you have to go Fold Space. And if Baron throws it all in here, then he throws it all in, you know, so be it. I expect Baron will just throw it in at Hardy Warriors, which is exactly what he's going to do. No, he's going to wait for Still Suits. I actually would have been tempted to throw it in here. This isn't the worst conflict to do it on. But there's a lot of weird stuff going on. So we'll see. Maybe he's going to go for some Conspire action. That might be what he's going to do here. Maybe look to go Great Flat, Conspire next round. That might be what he's after. We'll see. Well, Ilban's got a choice. I think I would have liked to use Basin with experimentation, but Karthag is always just going to be fine here. So he takes the rapid mobilization that Hundro ditched, which, again, bit of a surprise that. So kind of surprised he left that go, but it's what it is. So Hundro's just going to go, I assume, Imperial Basin here. Might go Haga Basin, I'm unsure, but I think I would rather go Imperial Basin and make people have to spend their water here if they really want to get the second experimentation off. And that's what he's going to do here. I wonder if he puts them both in because he's got talents. I don't know. He might. But Hundro is set for Swordmaster coming up here. Paul Atreides is going to have to go Arrakis, and then we'll see what the Baron does. Baron's got 6 Persuasion. Would he just insta-reveal for Choam Delegate, maybe? Choam and Embedded Agent? I could see that. Paul Atreides declines. Wow, Paul Atreides opts to go Tech Negotiation. And Baron is going to reveal here. Baron Harkonnen is going to get 2 Spice for nothing. For a troop. What? Did cool that I thought he was going to go early, though. Goes for the graft instead, so he's going to try and gamble here and try and get hold of some graft potential here, which isn't guaranteed. How did Hundro not put any troops in? And then how did Paul Atreides not go Arrakeen? His next card's got to be his Sikh allies. He just didn't want to draw it. Well, either way, that's kind of crazy. So Baron Harkonnen is going to get 2 Spice for nothing, and he is going to be threatening round 2 Highliner here. If it's anything with a faction bump, he's going in at Highliner 100% of the time. So that is pretty worrying. Ilban reveals for free. He's got a Specimen as well. I don't hate getting the Initiate. A couple of half-decent cards here as well. Bene Gesserit Sister's alright. Space Travel is a better card than it looks. Sister's always solid. Bene Gesserit Sister has always been and always will be solid as a reveal. But I don't hate space travel here to kind of like get your fold space hits going and still drawing cards. And also it's just a 2 Persuasion card for later on to buy Spice was Flowed with. I don't hate space travel, but either or, I think both are fine. Wow. Long Reach comes off in the row. Huge. Very big. So Baron Harkonnen, I think, is going to be looking to go Selective Breeding. If it's not a faction bump, I think he's eyeing up going immediate Selective Breeding and to try and get drawing his graft and such ASAP. I think that's what he's going to look to do. We shall see. How Hundro didn't limp a troop in, though, I have no idea. But he didn't. I think a missed chance there. Hundro takes Contaminator, which reveals off. I don't know if he'll buy anything. He might go Space Trap. Maybe. He's going to gamble with 3. Is he that worried about Paul Atreides getting Long Reach? Well, he gambles at 3. And, well, he wasn't going to find much. He never was likely going to find much. That's a bit of a liberty taken by Hex there. I can't say I'm a fan of that. Cannot say that I'm a fan of that. I think that's, yeah, it was a bit of a liberty, and he's got nothing for it. Curious to know what Paul's going to do, though. He's got 4 Persuasion. Paul might just go for Lisanne here, for the Spice and the Faction access. We'll see. He goes for Corrupt Smuggler. It might not be doing too much. I guess he's figuring he might get hold of Talaxi Infiltrator, but it's not guaranteed. Paul just goes for Bashar instead. Okay, looking to get some trashing done. So, yeah. Ilban wins the combat, which I don't think he was expecting. What does Ilban do, though? Does he cash and just take the money now? I guess so. He wasn't expecting this. I think you got to take it, yeah. It's money for Swordmaster, for Mentat or whatever else, yeah. Just got to do it. Crazy. And yeah, Baron Harkonnen gets 2 Spice for 1 troop. This seems absurd. Didn't even have any swords either. Wild. So next up is Guild Bank Raid. I wonder if Baron is going to follow through on Selective Breeding or if he's actually going to go Hardy Warriors here. I have no idea. Hundro has to obviously cash in. This is what he's set up for. He's in no danger of losing Swordmaster here, so he should be fine. He knows the intrigue that Ilban's got. Paul's got his ring and his Seek allies. So he's going to go, I think, yeah, he has to just go fold space here. Like, it's kind of weird position, this, but it's kind of is what it is. Problem is he's not going to get hold of Swordmaster anytime soon is the only issue here. Baron denies Mentat. So selective breeding is coming, and he finds his Diplo as well. He's going selective breeding 100% of the time to trash the dagger. That much is very clear. So Ilban's got a couple of options. I feel like just going, yeah, just go Wealth is solid. Can't hate the move. Hunjo Swordmasters. Paul is... I think he should just use his experimentation here. He should not use his Signet Ring for drawing. He needs to get experimentations done. Unless he's after a specific card in a row. And the only one he could be like trying to get hold of is like Satellite Ban. He's very unlikely to get his like convincing for Gilded Chords. So for me, you want to use the experimentation here. Get advancing along that track. It's very important to do so. I don't think drawing's that good. Because you want to make sure you've got an opportunity to have a drawing card next round. And you are asking for trouble. There's not a lot of cards in your deck, if you draw here, that actually get you back to instead of shipping. So this is dangerous. I think I would much prefer experimenting here. Much prefer. Yeah, and hence Baron's having a little look here. So... But he's going to do it this way instead. I think Baron is going to go Hardy Warriors now, possibly, and then Selective Breeding, but we'll see what he does. I'm not entirely sure if he's going to go Hardy Warriors here. I suspect he will, because it's 6 coins. We'll see which way round he goes here. Both of his opponents definitely can Hardy Warriors. If he's going to do it, he has to do it now. He's in no danger at Selective Breeding. Oh, they forgot to take off their... oh, yeah, they've got their 4 points and they were meant to get rid of those. So busy chatting away. Didn't even see it. So, Baron has to decide. Is it Hardy Warriors now? Nope. He's going to just settle with just limping in for some cash. Only problem with this is now he's not ready for Master Stroking. That's the only downside to this. I guess he also wanted to deny Ilban from going to Still Suits, which is reasonable. Again, Zazibu is like just got to get a top 2 finish, and he is in the quarters. So he might look to try and just slow other people down more than perhaps he might normally do. But the longer the game goes on, the worse it does get for the Baron. I mean, if Ilban has to just give up his diplomacy for a round, it's not a big deal. Yeah, go get the spice. I like this. Take the coin. I'd probably put them both in. Yeah, put them both in. Charge Hunter a price. Looks good to me. And then Hunter has a choice. He could go Hardy Warriors and just, like, put a couple of dudes in. Which I don't hate. I don't hate doing that. I think that's what we will see. He's not going secrets. I think Hardy Warriors and, put 2 in. I don't hate. Edge out Baron. Huh. So Baron Harkonnen has limped in 1 troop on the first 2 conflicts and is going to get 2 spice and 4 slurry for that. What? That blows my mind. Sorry, I was wondering where his specimen was. Obviously, he got contaminated, didn't he? So Paul Atreides gets hold of Talaxu Surgeon. So Talaxu, which is great for him. Does take the satellite ban. He drew his Diplo off of the recycle. Well, Baron, I mean, you set yourself up for selective breeding, right? And that's the plan. And then the next round, you just go great flat something. He's worried about obviously drawing either his graph card or his there's some content his graph card or espionage. He does not want to draw either of them. But that's the gamble you take here. You know, you could very easily draw one of the two. It's like it's about a coin flip. 2 out of 7. You don't want to see either of them on 2 draws. Yeah, it's about a coin flip that he finds at least one of them. But he decides he doesn't want to take the risk, so he's just going to go Hardy Warriors and just get in front here. He has to put in the 3rd troop if he wants it. But no, he's just going to garrison up, obviously, for half of the Warriors and again, redispatching. He's like, it's fine. So he's just garrisons here, reinforces the Alliance. I don't hate the move by any stretch. And he can Hardy Warrior at some point down the line and just do it. But yeah, very scared about, obviously, pulling that combination of cards out. So he decides not to risk it, which I don't hate. So Ilban's going to get this pretty cheap here. It's been a weird couple of conflicts, hasn't it? 3 a buy for Ilban doesn't bother. Baron also will have 3. But it's 100 with 3 first. I don't know if 100 will bother buying anything. He might grab a liaison here. I've got a funny feeling he's going to. But yeah, this has been very passive from Hex here. Very passive from Hex. I don't know if that's the right decision here. Baron has been given a lot of resources for very little here. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of absurd. So, nothing to happen here. Ilban gets the 6 coins. Ilban's gonna be pretty happy at this. And yeah, Baron's just making resources for not doing very much here. We move on. More resources available. Great stockpiles. Baron is waiting for a victory point to just barrel him with Hardy Warriors. But he's not found it. He has found his combo with Planned and Industrial, though. So he might even... I don't know. He's going to go to a faction spot with it, I think, a lot of the time, though. Might go Mentat occasionally. Ilban with absolutely oodles of cash. Paul Trady's up first, though. He's got both his Fold Space cards, which is pretty wild. Steel Suits looks a great option here. I think you've got a Steel Suit, and you've got to put Baron under pressure here. No, just goes Wealth. So he can cash in with the money here. I don't hate that. That's reasonable, I guess. So Baron's going to go selective, as noted. So the dagger will go. He will draw 4 cards. Baron's going for 4 humanity here, by the way. Baron is going 4 humanity. He's got 9 persuasion, so he's going for humanity. He's going to look to actually just jam factions here. No faction access, though. No access to Hardy Warriors. Which he won't mind, I guess, given the situation. Just waiting for a flag combat to barrel it in with. Ilban could go Mentat. I like Ilban going Mentat and taking a bit of a risk here. But he decides against it. Not willing to take the chance. I would have been willing to go for Mentat and just take that risk, but you know, Swordmaster just going for it can't be bad. Because Paul Atreides does go for that a lot is the only issue. If you turn it down, you're not likely to see it. Hundra's up. Hundra's got Contaminate. He must go Fremen. Steel Suits looks automatic here. And I would probably limp into, get the beetle bumps going. Like, you gotta rock and roll. He's just gonna limp in the 1. He's got Stage Incident in mind, which I don't hate. He doesn't have any spice, so he can't send his ring to a city to, like, get 4 troops in and still get his bump, and then call off 3, for example. That's what he would really want to do, but there's nothing he can do about it. Paul's gonna go Mentat. Finds Imperial Bashar. Very nice. So Zazibu having a look at what's going on, which is, understandable. Some people are very curious about people's discard piles. Like, I probably should care more. It's why I like playing Pool Atreides. You can get your deck small, you can just cycle loads, and people just don't know what you have. Third time he's looked at his discard pile. There are people that will, like, literally write this stuff down, and there are people who play it that will literally have pen and paper for all 3 people and will literally write down every single card they do. It is there. Great Flat is obviously forced. He's going to put in the 1 troop again, because it's worked for him so far. Why not continue? I don't hate Ilban going High Council here. There's a lot of good cards for him to draw. He needs to get his High Council going anyways. I think for me, I'd go High Council right now and get it done. And that +2 is with you for the rest of the game. Carfag's not helping you a ton. Pure Basin, I guess, is okay. But you might get to that occasionally anyways. I think for me, I'd do High Council right now. It's done and dusted. You don't have to worry about it ever again. Rock and roll. And he does agree. I like the move. Finds his Signet Ring, which is one of the cards he was looking for. He would also prefer like his Diplo, but this is good enough. And he has 9 Persuasion. Ilban might just reveal and buy Spice here. And I tell you what, I wouldn't hate it. Oh, it's unlucky. I was thinking he could do that and go Selective Breeding. The problem is he's not likely to draw. He's only got 4 cards left, so he wouldn't be able to ensure it's in his discard pile and trash it away again. So a little unfortunate, but I still think High Council's the move here. He might buy it. I don't know. His garrison's empty. Depends if Basin's still there. Hunter, I think, is going to go Imperial Basin himself, though, and set up for his ring. And he'll look to put in all 3 troops and then stage instant. That is going to be his plan here. Very much so. Makes total sense to me. Gets a 3rd intrigue. Finds Tiebreaker. It's alright. I'd rather have that than nothing at all. Now, what's Pool Atreides going to do here? He's got his other Fold Space card. He does not have to draw. As part of the Ursmar Tuek rule, you can just use Fold Space and get rid of the trash, but he decides he's going to use Bashar here to trash his dagger out, which I think is totally reasonable. Getting intrigue is always good. So it's either an extra troop or a trash. I think the trash is more useful with your dagger at this point. Second wave is found. It's a nice little intrigue. I put in 2 and trash the dagger, I think. Yeah, put in 2, trash the dagger. Yep, trash it out of there. Don't need to leave it in your hand. Get rid of that one. Looks solid to me. And I think you've got to be careful is if Hundo does chuck this all in, that you don't get kind of baited into trying to second wave this combat. You've got to find a way to get that pass going. 2 Spice is good enough. So Baron with 7 and the coins. He's going for humanity. He's going to absolutely jam factions. In the Shadows turns up here. Intrigue for the Baron as well. He finds Corner. Huh. Well, he'd be glad that he's got it and no one else does. Ilban with 9. Kind of a weird spot fist for Ilban. Again, just revealing and taking the Spicer's Flow, I don't think it's a bad move. You could go Arrakis with your Signet Ring, which I don't hate as well. Other cards to draw, you've got your other experimentation, your Diplo's in there. And then the cards are these bought. I don't hate Arrakis. I think Arrakis is okay, but obviously you're taking a bit of a risk on what you draw. He can't gain any money from any spice from this conflict. The best he can do is deny the Baron, which he's not going to bother doing. So I honestly, if Ilban just revealed, I don't hate it. He could also go smuggling, but I would rather just buy the Spiceman's Flow at this point, rather than just going smuggling with the experimentation. Arrakis, I feel like, is a better move than going smuggling. I think you've got to ensure it. So Arrakis, it's going to be... Or Tip Negotiation, yeah, that's also solid. He's going to go Sonic Snoopers. I think that's also fine. Didn't think about that. Yep, this is pretty good. Picks up Machine Culture. If you can find some cheap stuff, it'd be nice. Only problem is Machine Culture means you can't use Sonic Snoopers. I won't flip it. I'll let him do it. So that's the only issue with that. But maybe he'll pinch something off the cheap. Who knows? Hundro is going to go out, has to go Arrakis now himself, which he didn't really want to do, which is why he doesn't bother, and he's going to hold on a stage instant for himself. So he's just going to double bump here and look to cash that in later. Paul Atreides has got 3 and the dagger, which means he'll be pretty happy. He's going to take this one down. I wonder if Hundro is going to throw, like, intrigues here. I don't know. He only gets the one. The reveal effect of Bashar is only a reveal effect. So he only gets the +1 dagger, but he still gets to 5, which is enough. I don't see Hundro really playing just to deny. He'd have to use both cards, and I can't see him bothering to do that. So I think Paul should probably get this down. He's got 3 to buy. In the Shadows looks pretty good. I would definitely take it. Touch of confusion there, but everything is cool. Yeah, if you play it, you don't get the reveal effect, and vice versa. In the Shadows, the obvious take here, even Zazibu saying, yeah, you might want to take this card. Blank Slate, I wouldn't worry about. I would, I mean, Blank Slate is kind of a weird card. It's a nice idea, and it's nice principle. He does go for it for his Infiltrator, which I don't hate. But you're not likely going to get a ton of use out of it. But hey, sometimes you do. So Ilban with 9 will buy the spice, and then Hundro with 3 is, I guess, going to go Freighter Fleet. Ilban rips it, trying to see if he can find a big card. Wow, he gambles. Well, his big card he's found is Occupation. She's solid. It's not a bad card. Power Play's there as well. That's the other decent card, Imperial Spy. Occupation round 3 is pretty good. He doesn't have a garrison. It would restock that. It's good access. It's drawing cards. You know, I don't hate Occupation here. It's also not the worst reveal in the world. I don't hate Occupation at Ilban's position, considering he has no garrison. If you're going to spend your atomics ripping the row right now, and you're kind of giving up on the Spiceman's flow, I think you've got to take Occupation. You know, to rip the row and then not do it on Occupation, I think it's a little much. Like, you're basically saying, I get Kwisatz or Jessica or nothing. I don't hate Occupation at all. It gives you a lot of flexibility. It gives him faction access, which he needs. He doesn't have any right now. Outside of his Diplo, there's a lot of pressure on his Diplo here. As you can see. I mean, he has got the Initiate, I suppose, actually. I forgot he bought that. The Jessica Initiate, he doesn't really want to buy. So it's, you know... I don't hate going Occupation here. If you're going to get it, you might as well get it like round 3 when you have no garrison. Is it worth buying this instead of a Spice Must Flow round 3? Kind of depends what you use, how you use the card. But I don't hate this pick at all. If you're going to use your atomics there, I think you might as well commit yourself to doing it. Siluss must win this game, remember. So I think this is fine. Hundro with the 3. He might go Imperial Spy. I don't hate Imperial Spy here for Hundro, just trying to as a use and dump. And he agrees. Jamis is also on the row, though, and Jamis is a great 2-coster. But decides against it. I would have hassled Baron a little bit here, so never mind. Look at this. Look at this from Zazibu. Trying to make it look like he's thinking about it. Dear me. I didn't know you were into theatrics. So, Paul's going to get the spice. Hundro will not bother playing. Hundro won't bother playing. Everything is good. So Paul will take the free spice for his couple of troops and the intrigue. Could be pretty happy with this. Tactician as well. Look at these combat cards on this right side of the table. Wow. That's a nice iron for Paul here. With Imperial Bashar as well. Like, he could get pretty dangerous here. Paul's just got a little war machine going. And he's going to need it. Round 4 is Imperial Basin. But now Baron has no water. So he's surely highlining here. But he'd have to wait for it. I wonder if we might see him go Mentat here. Mentat for humanity and then highline. Interesting to see what he's going to do here. If he's high, well, looks like he's just going to do it immediately. Yep, just going to barrel it in. I would have been tempted to pinch Mentat first and make them wonder. But so be it. So highline it is. We did say he was waiting for this. So just chucking it in for his masterstroke. This will give him the shipping access, but it's obviously too late. Paul Atreides is going to get in the way of that. Ton of water, of course. Ilban's got what a hand Ilban's got. Ilban's got Occupation, Diplo, and Face Dancer Initiate, and his Benny sister. He's almost unlucky how much access he's got here. It's kind of crazy. Well, Face Dancer Initiate pairs with Experimentation, great. Occupation I would wait for here. I think I'd be using Face Dancer Experimentation first. Still Suits looks not bad. You have no water. You've got troops you want to get involved in. I think I would like that. I wouldn't be using... I don't think I'd bother using Sister at Mentat here. I don't think it's that important. I think I'd rather just keep the cash for later. Maybe if you end up saving up for, like, flagships or something, that money can go towards that or something. I think for me, it's Face Dance and Experimentation of Still Suits. If you're that desperate for Mentat, fine, I guess. Use the sister for it, but it's going to look kind of weird using your sister to go Mentatting. It's going to look very strange. I think this is a better move. Fold space, is it? Interesting. I mean, I don't know how he's going to get hold of shipping access for next round here. He's kind of making it look he's got an intrigue that lets him do that. But he definitely doesn't. Curious move. So, Hundro will take the Mentat. His hand's pretty bad, but Ilban was fine to give it away. Paul Atreides is up. Paul has to go instead of shipping. Only question is, what does he take tech-wise? I like Wind Traps to Paul here, given he's got a little battle machine going here. What? What? Well. Okay. Didn't expect that. Baron's be like, okay, sure. I'll take my 2 spice. Yeah, this is also fine. I'm a bit confused about this. Why would Paul not go? He really wanted to get hold of Imperial Bashar, I guess. Didn't like that move. Don't know why you'd want to give that Baron the shipping access there. Kind of a bit unnecessary. What's Paul Atreides got in mind here? Is he thinking if he does this, he can get the Haga Basin? Because Baron has to go shipping? I don't know. But Ilban's going to be curious, and so's Hundro. Ilban's next there, by the way. Goes Dreadnoughting. And goes Wind Traps using his sister. He draws the Experimentation, which I don't know if that's a card he wanted to see, truthfully. Now, what's going on here? Is Ilban looking to send it in here and take the basin? Is he going... What's he up to here? Is Hardy Warriors being planned? Hondro's just going to cash in his shipping and call it a day. This is a very peculiar round, this. This got strange. So once Baron went Highliner, which I don't even know if Baron needed to go Highliner right away. I mean, it's worked out for him. He's got shipping. But this has been a very peculiar round. Very, very strange round, this. I don't know what's going on. Is Hondro eyeing up highlining soon? He wants to go Hardy Warriors so he can get his stage instant going. That's only when it gets cashed in. Yeah, not when anyone goes shipping, just when it gets cashed. That is all. But yeah, that's just... Yeah. So let's see what Paul's plan is here. I assume he's going Haga Basin. No, he's going to go Carfag, and he's going to put Baron to the sword. He finds push as well. Paul Atreides is just like, I'm just going to win this conflict, and I'm just going to beat you here. And he can do. It's going to cost him a couple of intrigues. Well, Baron didn't expect this. Baron did not expect this at all. And the great thing is that... So Zazibu was kind of making it look early. He had a battle intrigue. And now it's going to be clear that he doesn't. Unless he had, like, Private Army or something. That's about the only thing that he might have. But they're going to pretty much assume that he's not got a battle intrigue at this point. Takes Jammers for 2. Seems reasonable. Weber Power turns up on the row here. He's considering just bombing it. Just to not let anyone have it. And I don't entirely hate the idea. Baron might just bomb to deny this. Nah, doesn't bother. I think I would have considered it. So Ilban has got a weird old hand here. So I assumed Ilban was eyeing up Hardy Warriors, but obviously that's no longer an option here. He's gonna reveal for Weber Power! But he's got so much faction access already. I know it's a good card. Oh, wow. So Ilban sacks the action for Weber Power. I have no idea if it's the right decision. It's a good card. I don't know if I'd give up the Diplo here for it. Like I said, it's been a curious round. He's eyeing up... he is eyeing up Subject as well. I think Subject would be a good card for him. But he declines against it. I think I would have considered doing it, actually. You can definitely give Research Station. You've got grafting for experimentations. I think you can get a lot of value out of Subject. But you are reliant on going Mental a lot of it, is the only problem. I assume Hondro's just Hardy Warrioring this. Hardy Warriors, get your water back, get your point, and just stage. This seems like the absolute perfect time to do this, right? I feel like you've got to try and fight for the Emperor Alliance. It's a bit weird for Hex. Like, again, if Hex wins this, he's in the quarterfinals. But if he doesn't, he needs Zazibu. If he gets second in Zazibu's last, then he would also get through. But it's not looking like that's going to happen. So if he wants to get in the quarters, he has to win this game. But it's not happening. Selective breeding it is. And I don't think that was a great draw for him. Paul Atreides with 6. Power play looks pretty good. Subject, I think, is also okay for him here. In a way. Well, he's done no research, though. He's only revealing it, so maybe not so good. Gola comes up next. Yellow's got to take their beetle bump for buying Subject. They have not done so. Power play is a natural pick here. There is no reason to take anything else. And I wouldn't bother with Missionary as well. That's you're fine here. So Paul Atreides is going to have to use Push and Tactician to take this down. And it's going to be clear that Baron has no combat cards. I did think that was a chance, though, for Hundro to just Hardy Warriors and get staged off there and then. Because the problem is it's hard. If he gets any more intrigues, like, he can't get any more intrigues at the moment. He's a little bit stuck up here, so it's a bit weird. Hundro has one more action. I guess he's just going to go base, Imperial Basin, and just limp in and do it this way instead, which is also fine. He might even go Hagar Basin and know he's going to get his water back. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. The problem is he's drawn Corrupt Smuggler, and I think he was looking at potentially highlining next round. Chuck it all in. I assume that was his plan. He was looking to go highline next round, and then chuck it all in, go really heavy, and then stage instant and still win the conflict. I assume that's what Hundro's plan was, but he's drawn Corrupt Smuggler, so he can't do that. So, interesting to see how this is going to go down here. He's going to reveal for 4. No specimens. He would like Gola, but he can't get it. I don't think he'll buy anything. I don't think he'll go Chris Knife. He's got some interesting synergy with his hand, but I don't think he ever will. So Paul Atreides will have to play... Yeah, he's got to play Push, and he might... I don't know if he plays Push or Wave, or Push and Tactician. We're curious to see which way around he does this. It's an expensive 2 water for the Baron. Yeah, I think I prefer Tactician here. I think I much prefer this move. I think second wave you want to save for later on here. So he's going to take it down. Baron has to pass. He's got nothing. And that'll be now apparent that he doesn't have a combat card. Or highly unlikely that he does. Paul gets the point, gets the basin. It was pricey, but he got it at least. And Baron's sitting with 5 water. He's going to have to now sort of start justifying that. There could be a lot of Hardy Warriors coming in here. We shall see. Round 5 is Machinations. Hundro. Oh, Hundro was begging to find access to Highliner. I think Hundro Moritani's going Research Station. I think he might consider going Research Station here to look for Highliners. He's got to win this conflict. He might also just barrel in at Hardy Warriors with his Contaminator as well. That's also good. But Hundro is going to go all in here, surely. He feels he's got to win this conflict for sure. Paul's got a really good hand here. Diplo, Fold Space, Ring, Infiltrator. Lots of good stuff. Ilban has drawn hideously. Ilban has to smuggle, he feels. It's a terrible hand he's got here. It's absolutely brutal. Ring, double dagger, double convincing. It's not what he was looking for. He's hoping he can get to Mentat, but I think it's unlikely. Hundro just intercepts it immediately. That gives up Highliner chances, though. So I guess he's not considering that. Baron's got Industrial Espionage, but no planned coupling. I think he's going to go Research Station here, and he's going to look to try to find it, which seems a reasonable move to me. Planned coupling's there somewhere. Paul Atreides is up. He's only got 2 actions. He cannot... he could infiltrate smuggling to get his Swordmaster. But then it just gives Baron it. He does. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's got to take it. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he did not take the 2 Slari for the combat win. He definitely did not do that. Yeah, water. Yeah, no, he did take it. That's cool. So he can indeed go instead of shipping and do this. I think... Oh, I'm curious to know what he's going to take here. Chalmurky's fine. Holtzman, he might be tempted. He's got the Negotiator. He could go Holtzman. It cost him everything. And he is going Holtzman. I don't hate it. It doesn't cost you. It only costs you the 1 spice because you get a reduction on the tech. One more spice because you have the negotiator. There we go. So go with Shalmoki instead, which I think is also fine. I think both are good. But I think Holtzman's getting a little tricky to actually get in here. So he gets Emperor bump, which is nice. He gets another tactician. Look at all these combat cards. Portraits is fun. It's pretty funny. I was hoping to find a card to get him to Swordmaster. It did. He's pulled Satellite Band, though. Lots of good stuff. So Baron's going to get hold of Swordmaster here. And he has to do it first, surely. He doesn't want to. Problem is, I don't think it's likely he gets a research station. Baron Harkonnen is considering going research station and sacking off Swordmaster here. He is strongly considering this. That's why he's looking at his deck here. If he goes research station, he's not guaranteed, but he's likely to get it. But he's giving up Swordmaster, and then I don't know what his next action's going to be. Probably just like secrets or something. Doesn't leave him very much. If he goes research station, they're going to know that's what he's trying to do here. Sorry, a bit of interference there on the mic. So if anyone just goes secrets, like he's in jail. Is he trying to get a little too cute here? I think just playing Espionage to Swordmaster is fine. If he plays his ring, he doesn't get the intrigue. He's going to try and get to research station. Or get lucky at Arrakis. Ilban has no moves. It's absolutely insane here for Ilban. There's nothing he can do. This is absolutely the only thing Ilban could do is buy another Dreadnought. He could buy a Dreadnought and draw a card. And I think that's his move. And hope to get lucky. So 2 Dreadnoughts out for Ilban. It's going to look a little suspicious. They're going to think that he might well have Grand Conspiracy. He finds Recon. So he has some city access. He's going to be able to use them. Machinations is one he wants to get involved in, of course. Here comes Hardy Warriors. This is going in. Paul Atreides can't block Research Station. Spice taken for Hundro, though. Where does Paul go? He's got 1 action. I don't know what he's going to... Is he going to go... Oh, of course, he used that to infiltrate his own Swordmaster. Of course, completely forgot about that. That's cool. So it's 1 mandatory draw. Does not have to draw both if he doesn't want to. Though, probably should. That's his In the Shadows. Very nice. Needs those bumps. Paul's got a lot of work to do here. So Baron is going to go Research Station and hope he doesn't get unlucky here. There it is. Chome Delegate as well. He didn't want to see both of those. He was hoping for a Chome Delegate next round. But it is what it is. Decides not to trash a card. I'm a little surprised. I think I would have been trashing his Baron here, truthfully. Ilban's gonna go Carthag and put them all in. No reason not to. Finds a Benny bump. Very nice. I don't know if he's ever going to use Rapid Mobilization here, though. This is very interesting to see what happens. He gets to see what Hundro does. Hundro was kind of hoping just to get to wealth and call it a day, but it's not going to be. So, Hundro, I don't know. He might go Imperial Spy anyways. But Secrets is very likely from Baron here. So he's going to go Imperial Basin, giving a spice to Portrait. I'm curious to see what Paul's going to do here. If Paul goes Secrets, that'd be fun. It'd be really fun to see Paul go Secrets here. And if Paul's paying attention to the table, he'd know that's where Baron wants to go. He's looking at his discard here. He's looking at what he wants to transfer, what he wants to draw here. Zazibu's given all this information away. Other reason for Paul Atreides just going secrets here is that it gets in the shadows with that bump he's rocking and rolling here. It gets loads of friendships done. I legitimately think secrets is actually the best move for him. Not just because it blocks Baron, but it's a good move for him himself. He's in no danger of like being secret stolen or anything like that. You don't really need to get involved in the conflict. I know you want to use Satellite Ban, it'd be nice. And you could like unload in the shadows to do it, but it doesn't really matter. Secrets, I think, for me is the move. But he doesn't. Well, for me then, if you're going to do this, you might as well use Satellite Ban and get some extra resources. If you're going to go still suits, you know, Satellite Ban and just unload in the shadows. Because you're going to do that anyways. Just get hold of an extra spice, extra water. So Baron Harkonnen gets absolutely everything here. That is wild. I cannot believe Baron is going to get everything here. But he does. And an Emperor bump to boot. Merry Christmas. Dear me. Deary me. So he has to draw 2 cards. He finds Jamis, which probably not what he wanted to see. But it is what it is. But of course he's going to race along this Bene Gesserit alliance, so... You know... Unfortunate that Paul didn't see it. And that's the way it goes sometimes. Would have done agreeing a massive help if Paul had gone there. I would have been even tempted as Hundro to say, like, you should go secrets, and this is why you should go secrets. Like, I'm not one to, like, try and armchair general people. People should be able to, like, play their own games. But, like, I think, you know, I would be tempted in that spot to go, but hey, you know, like, if you I know you can get the secrets, you might want to do it because he obviously wants to go there. And he's kind of pulling ahead here. And kind of frame it like that. So, Ilban is going to use Rapid here. Because he wants to get Machinations. Only question is how much does he put... Wow. Just bombs it. Just bombs it. Well, that kind of tells you, oh, I want to put it in. I don't really have any battle intrigues. Which is what it is. I mean, it's good. Hundro definitely cannot chase. Thing is, the brutal part now is that Ilban's going to do this, and Hundro's now just going to use Stage Incident. That is the brutal part of this. Ilban goes for Ixian Engineer, so he's after a cheap tech here. And now Hundro can just happily go Welve and just Stage Incident. And he's going to be happy as anything here. So I get Ilban doing it, but this is going to really blow back in his face here. He's a little unlucky, maybe. But this is going to horribly backfire. Paul with the bump, sword, couple of buy. Again, should have used Satellite Ban here instead of Diplo and just get rid of your dagger or you're in the shadows because you're not really making any use of any of them. Would have been a better move. It's possible he's just realized it, but it is what it is now. Couple of buy. I probably wouldn't bother. Your deck's kind of getting big. Goes for a Recruiter. Wants to keep the War Machine going. It's swords for Imperial Bashar. I don't hate it, Recruit if you're going to pick anything, but I don't know if I would have bothered. Baron with 7 and 3 coins. He's going to Atomics and see what he finds. Does he find anything fancy to try and win the game? Solkar Legion, Fervor, Peddler maybe. He might just grab Spiritual Fervor to get the Bene Gesserit Alliance. He might legitimately just grab Fervor to get the Bene Gesserit Alliance here. And get that prepared for humanity, which is coming up later. Solkar Legion's not the worst card in the world for him for that Emperor access. But it's getting kind of hard for him to get there is the only problem. You can get hold of one of those bumps probably with shipping. You don't need one other visit. Maybe he just relies on Diplo for it. Sorry. I think further and just take the Bene Gesserit Alliance on the spot. Oh, Shifting Allegiances comes up. Oh my god. That's absolutely cooked. That is absolutely cooked. Ixion Probe as well to get rid of Chome Delegates. That pays for the double Beetles. Yeah, you're feeling... Baron Harkonnen's feeling pretty good about life right now. Funny enough, it's like a couple of games that we've seen now where like a player's probably could have made done more moves to stop someone getting loads of stuff and hasn't, and they're just going to start racing away here. But that's the way these competitive games go. Like, you know, when you're playing, obviously the first step is about understanding the game and what's going on, and then the second step is like how your moves impact what you do. But the step to take after that, which is a bit tricky, is how what moves you take or don't take impact the table. And kind of stepping up from that is the next part in the game, basically. And we're seeing a very good example of how Paul is just kind of letting Baron get to everything he wants here. So here comes the stage. Ilban hates to see it. Paul gets a nice cheap second place. But Hundred gets the point. Hundred is under real pressure here. Again, he has to win this to get to the quarterfinals. It's the only way he gets there, but it's getting very difficult here. Very, very difficult. But he's keeping up pace just, but it looks like Brown's going to start racing here. And I don't like Hundred's chances. I feel like Hundred's going to need some help here. Ilban just takes his first couple of points. He's got a long way to go, though. And we move on. Has to put one of his dreadnoughts down. I'd go to a city. Might fluke the bonus troop. Let me move on. Round 6 is Sort Through the Chaos. The Mentat conflict. Everyone's got their sword masters. Everyone's got some intrigues as well. I have no idea what's going to happen. Ilban would want to win this out of anyone, so he has that Mentat. But I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's always weird the Mentat conflict comes out when Ilban's about, because he kind of like... Obviously, he doesn't want to lose it, but even winning it's not amazing, because the benefit of him going the Mentat space is the card draw, much as anything. Hundro will ship, obviously. Does Hundro take... spacing bump here? He's drawn. It's really weird for Hundro here. So Hundro's straight. He's got both of his faction accesses in his hand. If he doesn't cycle, he might find them again. And he obviously doesn't want to highline this conflict. He has infiltrate. I think Hundro has to resist going for the highline this round. Infiltrate makes it a lot easier. There's a lot of spice out there, and there's a lot of water out there too. The problem is, if you highlight next round, you're probably not getting there first. He bumps up twice to obviously prep for his ring, which I don't hate. Yeah, I was about to say, he definitely doesn't card draw here. That was a misclick. There's no card draw to be had at this point. So, just a misclick there. Paul's got Satellite Ban. He's got Infiltrate. He has no shipping access, which is a shame. So Baron's going to get to cash in his smuggling here. For Humanity is in hand as well. The problem is who in the world is going to try and stop Baron from having this Bene Gesserit alliance? That's the problem here. And the answer is, I don't think anyone is. Baron Harkonnen is just going to sit on For Humanity and just make points. And the brutal part is, like, if you take his from alliance, he just For Humanity's it and gets it anyway. So it's a real awkward spot for people here. Baron is now just ready just to start taking points. And the thing is, as well, at any point, he could like just go forward space, guild authorization, turn it into a point for humanity, stuff like that. So, difficult times. Paul Atreides is up first, though, and I have no idea what he's going to do. He's got nothing but city access. I feel like Research Station probably is a move, but the problem is he's done no research. He goes fold space. Getting rid of Recon, or he's going to get rid of his Convincing to get some supplies. I don't hate this. I guess, sure. I'd probably just go Fremen instead. but whatever. He's going to take the Emperor bump now to score the point. So what does Baron want to do here? He is going to go smuggling. He's just working out what to trash. That's all this is. And Baron probably has to take the cash here, because he's going to have to pay for double beetle bumps. He's going to have that 7 Solari on hand, so he probably has to take the money here. Unless he thinks that between wealth and like this conflict he can find enough, which is debatable. The other issue is he might want to look to take spice, but the odds of him getting to Great Flat are pretty low, with Ilban hits there a lot of the time. He's gonna Ixion Probe. What's he looking for? Well, he finds Charm Delegate. If that's what he was looking for, that's an insane draw. That's an absolutely crazy draw if that's what he was looking for. He's found his dagger again. I don't know. Seems a curious time to do that. Why would you not just smuggle and just trash out like a recon or something? Don't know. Seemed a slightly curious Ixion Probe that, but sure, whatever, I guess. He's gonna go smuggling anyways. No, he doesn't. He's gonna. Oh, I guess he doesn't have to now because he's got Charm Delegate, so now he can pick up Great Flat. I guess that's also true. It's not enough for him to get to Highliner though. So he's gonna. We'll see what happens. Is he getting flagships? Might be going flagships here. And Hundro can't... Hundro has no access to it. There's nothing Hundro can do to take it away. Ilban will have to satisfy with Hager Basin. Which is totally fine for him. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, once it's Charm Delegate, he doesn't need to smuggle. So if he was looking for Charm Delegate, that's an insane draw that he found that. He was very unlikely to get it. Hundro goes Wealth. Hundro is setting up for his ring and cashing in here. He's setting up for Highliners and his ring to cash in those troops. So he's just getting himself ready for next round. Just gonna hold tight and wait. Also, doesn't want Baron getting to Wealth anytime soon. Needs to try and do something to slow him down, because, you know, it's a 2-horse race, this game, at the moment. Paul will go Research Station with the Recruit, which I don't hate. He pulls Experimentation, he pulls his Dagger. Feels like he could have pulled better. He gets a troop, though. Ilban, did he not do his experimentation? Well, he should better do it. Yeah, he didn't do it. If he's not done it. Just looking. It's mandatory if he's not done it. I'm just checking to make sure that he has the, did do it. Yeah, he did. Yeah, do it. It's mandatory. Picks up Ambush. Nice. So Paul's going to put them in. He wouldn't mind winning the Mentat conflict. Having the Mentat conflict and being first-person acts is really nice. Means you're guaranteed end. So here comes flagships for Baron. And he's just going to start going... I don't know where he's going to send Diplo here. Secrets, Steel Suits... This is going to be him guild authorizing, and then looking to for Humanity the Alliance here. Thing is, he has to for Humanity something. So we'll see what happens. Baron can't end it yet. So that flagships is taken. Disposal is up next. I assume he's just going to go, like, still suits or something. I'm not entirely sure where the Diplo's going. But it ain't going Emperor. But I don't think he cares at this point. Ilban's up. Ilban's got his occupation and needs to use it. I feel like Bene Gesserit is solid. But he has no troops to send in is the only issue. He could conspire. And he might be about to conspire here. But what are you doing with the cash? Apart from Mentat, he is going to do it with occupation. Oh, he finds Strong Arm. Oh my holy god. Strong Arm and Conspire is awesome. But he knows he's going to combat in green here. But he's drawn it. He's got to use it here. You've got to take that extra bump. So Strong Arm's going to be played here. So it's basically... Green's a little unlucky here, maybe. So Alliance will go to him for the time being. Whether it will stay with him, I don't know. He can put them all in, and he does. Feels he has to go for it. But the problem is Ilbar might start overcommitting here a little bit. Benny's sister found. He's got 7 persuasion. He might go like tech negotiation or something with his fold space and try and pick up the spice as well. He probably has to buy one here. So just to see what he'll do with his last move. So Hundro is just going to go Imperial Basin, I think, here. Should not highline. But he's obviously uncomfortable with the fact that that bump happened with Baron. He's just going to cash in the smuggling now. Training drones? What's Hundro going to do here? I feel like Hundro has to try and challenge Baron at an alliance here. He takes the cash. Don't know why he's taking the cash. Is he preparing for... I guess he's just thinking ahead, saying if it's economic supremacy, he's just getting the cash ready for it. He takes that bump as well. So everything getting geared up here. Trading drones it is. I think this is the correct move. I like it. Out of the text there, I think it's the one that's going to help him the most. Artillery turns up. I tell you what, poor tradies might have some interest in that in the future. But not right now. Infiltrate and experimentation. I guess he's just going to go Carthag. Or is he going to use this to do shipping? Yep, looks like it. So it's the whole shipping. Anyone that can infiltrate anyway is going to go there. Some things never change. I don't miss this in Uprising. That's what I'm going to say. He should bump up here twice and then just do whatever next round. He gets a draw. He gets the experimentation, bump down, get the beetle, get an intrigue. Ooh, that's a really good find for him. Finding illicit dealings is absolutely enormous for Paul Atreides because he was in some trouble there. That's a massive draw for him. Oh, he finds in the shadows off his draw as well. Well, I guess he would have known that. So it's huge for him. Yep, he's going to go Fremen. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. But Baron Harkonnen looking very strong here. 100 Mauritani has to win the next conflict to have any chance of winning this game. Mentat for Ilban. He finds him a power. But he's stuck at 7 still. He's found the dagger alongside it. It's not what he was looking for. Ilban's in some trouble here. Ilban's in some trouble trying to find the spice must flow. Hundro has a trash. Did he trash? I don't know if he trashed. I can't tell him to if he didn't. So Paul gets a point here. So he'll be good for his Talaxu point, which is very important for him. He's just going to play illicit dealings now, which is reasonable. Intrigues are coming. Well, I mean, you would have been first to act anyway, so you don't have to worry about being secret stolen. But, you know, whatever. He's considering Water Peddler because he can just buy it, but I honestly wouldn't really bother. There's loads of water out there. You've got plenty as it is. I don't think it's that worth it, but, you know, sure, I guess. Baron's gonna... Now, curious to see what Baron is actually going to go ahead, and I assume Baron is going to bump up for the Spacing Alliance, and then just immediately for Humanity, is my assumption. Because that gets him his money. And then just give it up. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. Makes sense. So Baron's at 8. Hunter Moritani is going to be under pressure to win this. He's got a little bit of firepower, but not a ton in his hand. It's mainly just sheer weight of forces. Ilban with an action still. Ilban's got to buy Spiceless Flow here. I think it's got to be Fold Space to either Arakeen or Tech Negotiation, whichever you prefer. I think Ilban has to get the Spiceless Flow here. I think it's mandatory. I mean, Ilban could just go buy artillery with his Fold Space. It's perfect tech for him, actually, to at least get the point off of Ixen Engineer, which is coming. Yeah, that's the move. Fold Space, grab artillery. Yep. And just hope you don't get unlucky. And if you draw your other dagger, you draw your other dagger. There's nothing you can do about it. Or you draw Ixen Engineer now. Oof, that would be annoying. Face Dungeon Initiate. It's a point. It's not necessarily the card you wanted to see, but, you know, is what it is. Gets you a Spiceless Flow. That's what's most important here. So, play the Benny Bump. Obviously, his last reveal. He's going to get his Mentat. Curious to see where he's going to take the Weather Power Bump. I don't know where this Weather Power Bump is going to go here. Very curious. Does he go Fremen? Does he feel like he has to reinforce the Emperor because Hundro is very likely just to ring it? I don't know. Goes Bene Gesserit. Interesting. Maybe there is going to be some hassle for Baron here. He is surging ahead. So, I don't think anything's going to play anything here. Blue concedes. Nothing's going to be played here, so Paul and Ilban will take what they've got. Intrigue apace. Ilban gets the extra action. Ilban finds a private army. Oh no, that's terrible news for green. That is terrible news for green. Paul gets an intrigue. Recruitment mission. It's not great for him. But this is not looking good for Hundro here. Hundro has to win this conflict. Absolute minimum. It's Grand Vision. I tell you what. I don't know if Baron wanted to see that. Wow. Is Baron Harkonnen going to get dragged into this? He's got espionage but not plan coupling. Baron's hand is not good here. Baron just wanted Spiceless Flow and his last bump and to call it a day. It's all he wanted here. But there might be more than this game going on than meets the eye here. This could be interesting. Paul Atreides opens with Selective. He might even... I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what he's trashing here. How does he not power play this? Oh my god, just power play it. And I would actually legit consider power playing and trashing in the shadows. I would legit consider it. He won't. He does! Oh my god! How do you not power play it? Wow. There is a twist here. Paul Atreides is going to play spoiler. Baron's in trouble. And I tell you what, if the other two have got to leave secrets alone and let Paul get there. Oh, yeah. Let's see, now he's realized he should have used power play. But he has drawn refocus. It's up to the table, but they're not obliged. It's down to blue. If blue says no, then we move on. Yeah, Zazu's going to say no, which I think is, you know, it's not for me to interfere here. The table is not obliged. The moment Paul Atreides pulls an intrigue, they are not obliged to let him change it. So if Zazibu says no, then we move on. Zazibu knows what's going to happen, is the thing. He has no interest in allowing this to happen, because he knows his alliance is in absolute mortal danger. But even if it wasn't his alliance, like, it's still not obligated to let it happen. But I think the players should just let him get to secrets. They might realize what's going on here. And they should just let this alliance get taken away. It's for all their benefit, the Baron gets pegged back here. I mean, it's right in his hand. So, interesting to see what's about to happen here. This should be a very interesting round here. So, Baron is in trouble. Baron realizes his alliance is in absolute mortal danger. And there's nothing he can do to protect this unless he flukes something. He's going to go with Research Station. At least he's going to have shifting allegiances to back up here. He also needs to draw his 2 cards, which he didn't do. There is shifting, but he is going to lose this alliance. So, this is not ideal for Baron. He's going to be under attack in a lot of places here. The problem is, it's like, then is he going to go for the Spacey Alliance? I mean, is he likely to win it? I don't know. Baron obviously just wanted to get hold of 2 points, but it's not going to be that easy here. War chest is found. That's not what he wanted, because he wanted to save his money for... His money's going towards these beetles. It's a bit of a tricky one for him. I don't know what he's doing. He's getting way ahead of himself, is the Baron. He hasn't done his Oh, he is a research station now. Yeah, he has to do it now. Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, that's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. Zazibu's getting all kerfluffled here. So this means War Chest isn't doing a lot, and it means that also there's a lot of issues here. He can't calculate higher, which he could take, and he probably has to. But his hand is kind of weird, and he wants to buy Spice Must Flow. I mean, he's almost certainly using it, I think. But is this last round? Probably not. But he's just going to take it anyways, just to keep it away from people. Ilban's got his Ixian Engineer, so he has to reveal that. He can't even get there. Yeah, he's not available. He got one in the conflict. Oh, well. This is a bit messy. So, you get the intrigue back, but yeah, he should have been taken by red. Well, that is a little awkward. Nothing you can do about it. The calculator cannot be used if the Mentat's not there. So he gets it back. People do forget it all the time, though, forgetting to take the Mentat Assault for the Chaos. Happens a lot. So, yeah. So red should have taken the Mentat from the conflict, which he forgot, which obviously wasn't ideal. Blue has played calculated higher. to take the men tap, but couldn't do it. So he wants to reshuffle Calculated Hire into a different intrigue, because obviously he's now shown it for nothing. There's no obligation that is what it has to be. Red and yellow don't particularly mind. You're probably the most affected at this situation, so if you say yes, sure. If not, then we carry on. But there's no obligation. Like, I would probably say no, but ultimately, if you all want to do something like this, then you can all feel free to do it. You sure? I mean, you're by far the most affected by this, probably. So, just to explain what happened. So, Baron tabled it. I mean, the table have decided to do it. And ultimately, if the table decides that they want to do it, that's their prerogative, I guess. Barrel table calculated higher. Not reason Red's taken it. So, the table has ultimately agreed to let Baron redraw calculated higher. And he finds Sleep Must Awaken. Which is pretty wild. I mean, I told the table that it doesn't have to happen, and that anyone objects that we don't do it, but they've all agreed, so, you know, I've effectively been overruled here. It's not a strict rules question, like, he probably should just keep it. But, here we are. Alright then, we'll move on. Can't wait for the comment section on that. So, Gilban goes shipping, takes the bump with the Fremen, which he definitely needs to do. He's got to find that friendship point. Hundro is up. Hundro has Highlander access, doesn't have to go there yet. He hasn't got much else going on, though. Does Hundro? Hundro's also got to decide what he wants to do in regards to his money. I assume Hundro is also going double Talaxu point here. I don't hate just going Imperial Basin, limiting Baron's options here. You know Baron's... Oh, no. No, go Basin first. Baron has no access to any water. The only spice he can get is Imperial Basin. He's praying Paul Atreides goes there. Highlines it first. And Paul Atreides is obviously not going there because he's going secrets. And now Baron Harkonnen just shifting allegiances Imperial Basin here and calls it a day. Man. Wild. Wild stuff. Wild, wild stuff. It's been a curious old match, this. Curious old game. Just prick the button. So Baron's going to get his... Where does Baron shift, though? I assume he just takes the Emperor point, right? But how does he get 10 points here? I don't think Baron can finish the game, is the problem. Baron can get to 9. He can get the Emperor point. And he might be able to get like a Spice Must Flow, but there's no route to 10 here for the Baron. That's the only problem. His next round's going to be very profitable for him. That's kind of what he's thinking about here. I feel like Baron is going to go Steel Suits, probably, just to cement this alliance. It also gives him range to even... I think what he should do is still shift and then go Jamis. And he's looking at his corner of the market, though. The problem is that Ilbon's already bought one. It's very hard for him to buy it. So Zazibu's not out the clear yet at all. I think you have to go Basin, shift away from Bene Gesserit. But the problem is now is For Humanity is dead. And he can't use it for anything. That's the only problem Baron's got here. For Humanity is gone. All it is being used to obviously go for other factions here. Does he just shift and just try to absolutely bomb the spacing? Or did he just take the safe Emperor point? I don't know. Does he even spend the spice? His Sleep Must Awaken is just a guaranteed point. But if it goes another round, you think he's reasonably likely to get hold of free spice, but Paul Atreides has got crazy intrigues. Tough spot for Baron, truthfully. Like, Imperial Basin and shifting is the natural move. It's tough. It is not easy, this. He's not found planned either for Industrial. He's not drawn it. Nor can he. He's run his resources into the ground here. And now he's in trouble. Might come unglued here for Zazibu. I think he still has to do this. I don't see what else he's got. And he just has to... Yeah, he's just got to take the Emperor point. But it's now getting difficult for Baron here. It's getting tricky for him. He can get the Talaxu point. It gets him to 9. But we are going another round here, almost certainly. Ilban's gonna get some stuff in it. Arrakis pulls his dagger. Obviously, Ixen Engineer is going to be revealed here for a point. It is awkward, though. Like, he cannot use Sonic Snoopers. Not that he really needs to. It's Ilban. Ilban does not get involved in this conflict at all. He waits for this, gets 2 Dreadnoughts, goes to the next one. Is there any way for Hex to get 10 points here? Oh my god. Is this... So that's going to be that. Oh, he finds Disguised Bureaucrat! Oh, that's huge! It's a wild bump! That's an enormous find for him. And all of a sudden, Ilban's alliance is in absolute tatters. And he's going to use it. He's going to protect the spacing, which I think is probably the right choice. Paul Atreides goes great flat, arming up for... Oh, but it means Baron's going to get the free spice! Man alive. All happening here. Don't know what Baron's going to do. Do you just go Carthag, pull an intrigue? I feel like you've got to put in, like, a troop here. You've got to try and guarantee you're going to get hold of that free spice. And I think Carthag's fine. Secrets is safe, but then Ilban does have Web of Power. And Infiltrate is out there. Infiltrate has not been played. Someone could have that. I mean, Alejandro does. Baron does not want to draw. Baron could just go Siege, but it just goes Steel Suits to block, which is reasonable. I mean, Dagger's going. No, he gets to the Chome instead. He's desperately trying to raise some cash here for War Chest. I should tell the story that he's getting rid of Chome Delegate here. Ilban's next. I think Ilban just has to go either... Well, it's a tough spot. Do you go Hardy Warriors or do you go Wealth? The problem is there's only one direction Hundred is ever going with these bumps. And if you're going to go Wealth, you've got to then redefend. You're forced to redefend at the Emperor, and you don't want to do it. That is the problem. If you could find occupation, Conspire's not the worst thing, I guess, but you've got Private Army. Ilban could also decide to get involved, but he's not profiting from this at all. That's the issue here. He's just gonna double draw. What's he looking for here? Spice must flow? Oh, he finds Web of Power. Oh my holy god. That is an insane draw. That is an absolutely cooked draw. I do not know what Ilban's going to do. Did he just go Wealth to protect? I don't know what's going to happen here. Hundro shipping. Hundro is going to ship here. I think Ilban is going to be forced to go Wealth and reveal Web of Power. He's going to feel forced here. No troops for Hundro here. No bonus troops. Just taking the bump here. I think Ilban's hand is forced here. He has to go Wealth and reveal, surely. 8 persuasions, not enough for Spice Must Flow. He can't play Ixen Engineer for anything. He has to reveal that. If you had Call on the Market, maybe you go Web of Power to Selective Breeding, but you know it's history. You know that Emperor Alliance is gone if you don't defend it. Other issue, how's he getting this Fremen bump? Who knows? But Paul Atreides is going to reveal for 7. I think he should Atomics and look for Jessica. Unlikely, but you might as well gamble here. I think you might as well just Atomics and just, yeah, try to find something cool. That's what he's kind of saying, you know, you still got your Atomics, which is fair. And he probably should use it. Well, Rad isn't helping. Sardakar's not great for him. Also, Baron doesn't mind, because the row is pretty bad for him, so there's a little bit of that going on as well, but I think Paul should do it anyway. Shout out Mapes, Fopter. Bastarder's no good, really. Dissecting is not really good either. Nothing great for him. I guess I'd take, like, Fopter or something. Just for some swords. Remember, he can top deck anything he buys here. Fopter's just a guaranteed +3 swords next conflict. I think I'd rather go shout out Mapes, though. You want to make sure you've got Fremen access so you can get to the Fremen here. It's the point you need. I would top deck both of them, truthfully. I would buy both Fopter and shout out Mapes and just top deck it. You know, you have got that Fremen access somewhere. I guess he's also figuring I can just go smuggling and get his Fremen bump from there, which is also probably true. So it doesn't need to. Yeah, I wouldn't bother doing anything else. I would just call that a day. Like, your deck is plenty big. You're not seeing any more cards. Shout out Mapes. I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, I guess it's guaranteed triangle access, so there is that. Worst come to worst, which is also reasonable. So yeah, I guess it's fine then. Yeah, so I'm back to where you were. Baron has 4. And he will get the Talaxu point. But he cannot end the game. Does he buy anything? He might buy a Fopter. But surely he's interested in buying Spies. He knows he's never going to get any value from Corner. He's reliant on Sleeper for 10 points. And he's reliant on like a Spiceman's Flow for 11. And that's the best he's got here. He's just buying that just to keep it away from Hundro. That's all that is. Just a denial pick. Ilban's got 8. Ilban either goes Wealth and reveals Web of Power or goes Selective Breeding for the Spice Must Flow. I feel like you're kind of forced into going Wealth, but you don't have to. You could go Web of Power. And in Selective Breeding, but you've got Private Army as well. He has to go Wealth. His Hardy Warriors is a huge problem, but that's just the situation. There's nothing you can do about it. You go Hardy Warriors. I mean, he's thinking Hardy Warriors and fight the conflict. Ilban's talking himself into Hardy Warriors here. But he doesn't need to. Wealth is the safer option, and just goes for wealth. Now, Web is... No, he's got Web. That's why I would do this. I think this and reveal is correct. Do this, call it a day. I think this is the right choice from Ilban. It's not a fun one, but you got to get yourself armed up and not spend everything. You need this for next conflict. It's too important for you. Hundro with 5. Hundro, not a lot really to buy here. Maybe once the booming, you could like spice smugglers just as an emergency spacing bump if something crazy happens. I don't know. I feel like there's worse picks in the world. Nah, Ilban's, I think, made the right choice here. Like, I don't know what you're going to do about the Fremen bump. You're going to have to think that out. But yeah, I think this is reasonable. And then Hundro just goes Bene Gesserit to get hold of another intrigue, I guess. I don't know what he's going to do. So, Ixen the Engineer trash for a point. Machine Culture is sitting there for later. So reminder at the moment, you know, Baron with 9 and Hex at 8. The winner of this game between those two, if either of them win, they're in the quarterfinals. Baron can live with second place, but not if Hex wins. Baron gets second and Hex wins. Baron will not make the quarters. He has a 10th point on hand, guaranteed. Everyone will pass here. Where does Hundro take the bumps? I would take the intrigue you've got first. Is he just going to protect the spacing? I wouldn't hate going Bene Gesserit. But he just protects it and calls it a day. Ilban picks up Shadowy Bargain. Is Baron Harkonnen just going to go secrets and just steal here and just try and find what he can? I wonder. Well, here we go. Round 8. What is going to happen here? For humanity is in hand as well. Who knows? It's Carthag. It's neutral. Baron finds a crazy hand. Oh my god, it's good, but it's not good. He's going to go secrets, I think, and just hope to get lucky. I don't know what he's really looking for. Just anything endgame. What's he doing here? Oh, he's got to get the cash for War Chest, he's thinking. Oh, this is so brutal. It's the only card that gets him there is this. So he's going to take the cash. He's going to figure, well, I'm going to have 11 points, and I'm just going to have to close my eyes and hope I'm good. Illicit Dealings is a complete and utter dud. It does nothing for him. And now they realise that he's probably endgamed up here, and that he's got a load of resource stuff, and he does. So Baron just needs to hope that Hundro doesn't win. It's as simple as that. And it's really hard for Hundro to win here now. Mentat's going to be played. Ilban's got to protect his hand here. He's got to use Shadowy Bargain. But he doesn't. He's got to use Shadowy Bargain and put a specimen down. He has to protect his hand. You know, face dance and experimentation your specimens. You bump up. Oh, but he wants to bump down for the Fremen point. Oh, how brave is Ilban feeling? Ilban has to win this game to have any chance of qualifying. I guess you just take the chance. Well, this is a nasty spot. He's very scared of secret stealing. It's very possible it happens as well. Baron might just do it. Yeah, he's got to... I think like he's probably got to do this. Very difficult. Interesting he didn't use snoopers as well. I wonder if that might be noticed. Hundro will draw. Experimentation. I mean, he has to just go for spice. And hope that Paul Atreides has not got Highliner access. Oh, but I guess Research Station is also reasonable. Research Station is probably the better move. But he needs to find a spice somewhere. He draws 3 cards. So Spice also is coming for Hundro. He's going to get to 9. But then what? But then what? Baron Harkonnen might be good at 11 here. He might literally just go secrets and just take whatever he can. He's not really got much else to do here. He's stuck at 7. There's no Spice or Slow coming. But he's got 10 in endgame. I don't think there's any way he can use flagships here. Not that we've really had any interest in using flagships. I guess he'll just try and pick up whatever intrigues he can here and hope he gets lucky. Paul Atreides needs to smuggle. He also needs he wants to go Fremen. There's a lot of things Paul Atreides wants to do. He's got his Taraxu point. He doesn't worry. He's got to get troops here. Is Paul Atreides just going Highliner? Going Hardy, even. He is. So everything's going to go in here. This is going to be an absolute mess. Well, I mean, you know, it's the way it goes, Baron. I don't know if 11 points is going to be good here. You're definitely hoping that but 100 doesn't win this. He's bemoaning, but I wouldn't complain. You take what you got. So it's just Carfag and then Secret if it's somehow still open. There's the only thing left to do for Baron is you just go for as many intrigues as possible. And just try to find stuff that might help you. You know, maybe you go Carfag and you find... I don't know, what can he find that'd be of use to him? Not a ton. I mean, the end games, you know, the have free spice. Oh, he's going to spend it, though. I mean, you just gotta go intrigues. What else are you gonna do here? Revealing does nothing. It's the last round. You know it's the last round. I think you just go Carfag with Liaison, and you just go plan coupling the secrets if it's still there, and you just take whatever intrigues you can, and maybe you find something that can help you. I don't know what there is that can really help you. Maybe you find economic positioning. Economic positioning is out there. That's the one that is the retreat a couple of troops for some money or have 10. You know, if you find plans, you know, no one else has got it. Tiebreaker is of use to you. What else are you doing here? You can't go selective breeding. You could, but it's a total punt. It seems kind of reckless. What is going on here? Is he going secrets and hoping to find his signet ring? What's the point? Now they know he's got plan in his hand. Well, they wouldn't know he's got plan in his hand. He's trying to think if he goes Arrakis, can he find industrial espionage? But it's a D10. I don't really know what he's looking for here. Don't really know what he's looking for. He's going to draw twice. But he finds Jamis, which isn't helping. And he finds Spiritual Fervor, which isn't helping. I think just Carfag and just secrets and call it a day. He's just going to try and get whatever spice he can, basically, at this point. Here comes Ilban. Gets his steel suits. Dreadnought's in. Point acquired. Research. He has to bump up. Taxi points coming. That's going to get him to 8. Machine Culture's 9. Combat's 11. Is there a twist in this tale yet? Hunter's got to win this somehow. He needs luck. Oh, he finds plans within plans, but it's not worth anything. It's not worth anything. Oh my god, and there's no way for him to get anything out of it either. Fremen's blocked. He's got no access. Oh, it's a horrible draw. Paul just chucking in whatever he can here. He's got much else to do. Baron's going to go Haga Basin and just hope he's good. He probably is. Wow. What does Ilban do here? All cities are gone. No one has highlined yet. No one has highlined. But is it worth it to him? He's got Private Army in ambush. You could conspire with Ilban. You've got a spice back for Private Army. It's the best way you've got of getting troops in. You also want to protect your swords. But he feels like he's got to buy Spice Must Flow. He's got 5 Persuasion. I don't really know what Zazibu's looking for, but whatever. So, I don't know. You could conspire, but it's pretty committing. You could selective, I guess, but you know, you could selective with occupation and draw 3. There is chances to find the Spice Must Flow. And he needs an 11th point. If he wins the combat, like, Machine Culture is 8, combat is 10. He needs another point from somewhere. I think he has to gamble. I think he has to go selective breeding and hope he gets there. But how does he win it with all the combat intrigues? Like, surely he's going to lose. How does he win the fight? Most he's got is, say, call it like 15. He's going to have the 10 in, so he's going to be 10. 19 intrigues. Bene Gesserit is 22. He's going to have another action, although I don't see how he gets any more forces in. 23, 24 strength. Is that ever enough here? Paul Atreides has got his Fopter. He could have anything. That feels like Conspire is coming. That feels like Conspire is coming. And Baron Harkonnen, I think, might survive this. I have no earthly idea how Hundro can make progress here. It's been a messy game, this. A real messy match. But I think Hundro's race is run, and it's over. Hundro is in danger of just being knocked out here entirely. If he comes last, he might not even make it. And he is in some danger, potentially, of that happening. If Paul Atreides wins, Ilban's got 2 points coming. Or does he now? Oh, he didn't go Spice or Slow? Maybe not. Oh, but Paul... Oh, I see what Paul's doing. He's going to have detonation devices, but Fopter can't be used for that. Fopter is troops. Fopter is troops. Not dreadnoughts. Oh, he might not realise that. They must think he's got... Oh, but he's got second wave. Second wave is good, though. So Baron is just going to go for his 11 points and assume he's going to be in the quarterfinals. He's just hoping green doesn't win. Was he maybe fortunate with the, you know, with the redraw of the intrigue? I mean, yes. But I presented the situation at the table, and the table all agreed to do it that way. So it's on their head, be it. Here comes Conspire, I guess. Oh, he is just going to highline anyways. And Ilman's going to win the conflict here. But it's not going to be enough. Does Ilban have it in him to sack off any... Oh, he can't because of Machine Culture. He can't sack off any intrigues. Ilban is stuck at 10. There's no way for him to score anymore. Baron Harkonnen's going to win it. Hex's dream of a quarterfinal spot is gone. And he knows it. But Paul Atreides is going to play spoiler here. Or attempt to. There's so many swords and all sorts of stuff coming here. I think Ilban is good, but it's close. So it's just +3 swords. He can't put the Dreadnought in. But he's got second wave, and they now know that he's got second wave. He can buy troops as well, which is pretty cool. He can actually cash these in for troops. So he gets extra firepower. Does he realise that? Does Paul Atreides realise that? I can't tell him. But if he cashes in troops, he can extra dude him with second wave. There's nothing else to do with the beetle bumps. Some people forget that you can do that. No, don't go Gola. Ah, just missed that you could put the extra troops in. If he loses this conflict by a sword, he's going to be absolutely kicking himself. Absolutely kicking himself. But Red will be happy to see that. I think Red is good here. I don't think Paul can catch up now. Paul has 16, 19. He can get up to 24 strength. Yep. Ilban is good. The troop wouldn't have made a difference. But just a minor thing. So after all of this, Zazibu gets over the line in a pretty chaotic match. This was a mess. But he's going to get there, which is what matters in the end. Ilban is going to get second place here with 10. Hundred's dreams of making the cause directly are over. Paul actually just... Paul's just going to save some dudes. And that's it. It's all over. You still get your +3 swords. Crazy stuff. What a game. Heck of a way to finish the group stages. I have a feeling the comment section is going to be busy. There's a lot to talk about in this game. Zazibu stumbles over the line. Maybe not the prettiest, but at the end of the day, it's the points that matter. And Hundro finds the calculated higher. So here is confirmation of the file table, and that Zazibu does indeed make it direct to the quarterfinals. Maybe not the most convincing performance he's ever given, but ultimately it's the points in the bag that matter. Constantine does make the first knockout round, not enough to challenge the top 4, which he'll be a little disappointed about, I suppose. Definitely a chance for him to try and get there, and maybe, you know, the game goes differently. Maybe he finds his way there or even beyond that, but regardless... he'll be joining in that round with Bars and Cat as well as LaPhilippe, who will make as a fastest loser. Siluss and Moorsiek both needed to win the game and have not done so, so they unfortunately will be eliminated at this stage. It was, yeah, a pretty messy game. There's some that we've seen significantly prettier than what we've had here, and that's the way it goes sometimes. It was very chaotic. A lot of stuff happened. There was steals. People got themselves in the kind of weird spots. I'm not going to sit here and say Brown didn't deserve to win the game. Obviously played pretty solid, but maybe was a little bit fortunate of how the table kind of broke down here and there. Paul definitely could have put Baron in a lot more difficult spots than he ultimately was, and that's the way it goes sometimes. And I think Hondro will be a little disappointed to have not made it to the end. Maybe he's a little bit unlucky there, like Paul's plans at the death and he can't get any points out of it. No chance to win the conflict, anything like that. Maybe he'll feel a little bit unlucky that he perhaps couldn't have found another point somewhere, but that's the way it goes occasionally. Red as well maybe felt that perhaps they could have found a way just to eke a win here, and if he'd have won, Siluss would probably have been in the next round. It would have been very close between him and LaPhilippe. He might still have lost out on tiebreakers, truthfully. It's very, very tight, so who knows? But ultimately we never will. But yeah, it was a chaotic little game here. I would hope maybe if Yellow ever watches this back, that some of the things I've sort of said, maybe just, as I said, the step we're making from obviously won't be your own game is about how what you do or don't do affects the table, and that sometimes you've just got to make blocks. Not just blocking the person to your left for no reason. It's about playing into your own game. But yeah, like that secrets move when Baron clearly wanted to get there and you had in the shadows as well. Just little things like that and just kind of picking up on the kind of those nuances definitely does help. But regardless, Zazibu gets through to the next round. Maybe a little bit stumbly, but he won't care one bit. As it is, folks. So thank you very much for watching. That is the end of our group stage coverage. That is it. All nigh on 200 games have been played. It's 189 games, 190 matches or something, some crazy number, and they have all been done. So from this point onwards, we will now be looking at the knockouts. A reminder of the format. So everyone that finished 5th, 6th, and also some of the 7th places will play in the first knockout round. The winners in a couple of seconds will go through to a second knockout round where all the 3rds and 4ths got proceeded to straight away. And then the winners of those games will then make their way into the quarterfinals where our top seeds will be waiting for them. From there, it is a straight fight to the grand finals and the top prize. So that is the format, and we'll be covering as many of those knockout games as we can. It should be a bit easier for us now. The group stage is difficult. There's nearly 200 games getting played across 7 weeks. There's only so much of that we can physically cover. So hopefully that is coming, and you guys enjoy when we go away from the group format and it's just straight knockout Dune Imperium. No implications to worry about, nothing like that. Just simply you win or you're out. Anyways, folks, thank you much for watching. Take care of yourselves. We will see you all in the next conflict.